Does closing out your budget just want to make you cry? That no matter how many times you add up your numbers in that calculator, it still doesn't balance and you just want to pull your hair out? In today's video, I'm going to show you how I use my running total worksheet to help me add my numbers. That way, when it comes time to close out your budget at the end of the month, it's a little bit easier, less stress, and less tears. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I use a running total worksheet planner insert in my day-to-day budgeting to help me close out my numbers. Now, make sure you do stick to the end where I'm going to let you know how you can get this PDF printable download for free. I'm Marianne, and throughout my planning, habit tracking, well-being, and budgeting, I hope you can get some inspiration and ideas for your own planning and budgeting needs. Now, all of the items I do mention in today's video, I'll have the links in the description below. Now, if you are here on live, make sure you say hi in the chat, or if you are watching on replay, type watching on replay and do let me know where you are tuning in from. Now, before I show you how to use this running total worksheet, you should already be tracking your the expenses that's going out and also the money that's coming in. Now, if you are not tracking your money movement for your household yet, I highly recommend you start doing that first. It's very important to know the money coming in and know where your money is going. So then at the end of the month or at the end of your pay cycle, you're not wondering where it went. Now, if you don't have an expense tracker, you can use a journal, an exercise book, or a ledger that has columns for the date, the description of the expenses you are tracking, the expense category, a money in section, a money out, and a running balance. Or you can grab this one of mine, which is the expense tracker planner insert from my shop at mariannecresp.com. So let's just get right into it and let's get started. Okay, so let me show you my desk. Here we are. And let me just make that full. So this is my running total worksheet. So one of these comes with the expense tracker printable as well as my zero-based budget printable download. But like I said, I'll let you know a little bit later on how you can grab this as a free PDF for your own budgeting needs. Now for the columns, it has a starting balance, inflow, so all the money that comes in, that's where you will add up the total. And then it has 18 columns for your expense categories, your debt categories, or savings and sinking funds. Now it has 7 rows, one for cash if you keep track of your cash movements separately, and then 6 rows for the number of pages of expense tracker that you are going to use in your budget month. Now it also has a space for the total starting balance and the total closing balance, which are some important numbers you will need to close out your month for your numbers to balance. So let me show you my January running total worksheet. Now I have already written down my starting balance for cash. So my starting balance for my side hustle account and our debit accounts. And the categories that I track in my budgeting are my grocery, for our rent and any household expenses, utilities, Edward, so my husband, any expenses that's just specifically mine, the boys, my 2 sons, expenses for the whole family, normally like eating out or going out on an excursion, expenses for our homeschool, and then our cash envelopes, money that gets taken out, for my older son's high school, transport, medical, special occasions, which includes birthdays, anniversaries, Easter, Christmas, side hustle expenses, how much money I put into our sinking funds, any general savings like Christmas, our tuition fee for my son's high school. I also do the Budget Mums Savings Challenge for 2023. So I just keep that separate so I know how much I saved for those challenges. Any side hustle savings, our home deposit savings, and then just this little bit here is any miscellaneous, normally international fees that come out if I make payment on via debit card. So that's my January running total worksheet. I've already filled in my starting balance and then the categories. Now I like to color code each expense category so you can assign whatever color you like. Normally I start out with the favorite colors that's within a highlighter set that I have, and then all the other ones will get the following colors assigned to them. Okay, so let's get back into it. Now, these expense trackers, these rows here, so the cash, this is my side hustle balance and my cash, they correspond with the expense tracker that I have for my monthly budget. So here is the expense tracker for cash, which I track separately. So there's the starting balance, 260 and 260. And then for my side hustle, I keep a separate expense tracker. So the starting balance is $448.14. There it is, 448 and 14. And then I have for our debit accounts, so that's normally for our grocery and any other expenses where we use the ATM card. So here, the starting balance when I closed out December and opened the balance for January, it's $1,122.38. And there it is for that row there. So I have assigned a row for each of my starting balance for cash, side hustle account, and my debit accounts. Now, I normally use 4 to 5 expense trackers on a monthly basis for our debit account. So let me show you what my December expense trackers look like. So this is our expense tracker for our debit accounts. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because December there was a lot of spending with Christmas gifts and everything else. A few more pages. Now the reason we use quite a few pages for our expense tracker is because we don't do bulk grocery shops as we only live in a small flat with a small fridge and not a lot of cupboard or pantry space. So therefore, my husband, who does our grocery shopping, would do a big shop at the beginning of our grocery week and then pick up our most consumed items throughout the rest of the week. So hence, each line item for those smaller grocery spend will get their own line to be written in. Now, you may not have as many expense tracker pages to add up like I do, but if you do have quite a few pages to add up, imagine if you had to add up all these line items at the end of your closing month, like I used to, there is more chance of adding the numbers incorrectly, either by putting the numbers incorrectly on the calculator or missing a line item altogether, which I have done many, many times, and hence the tears when it comes to closing out my budget. So hence, that is why I created this running total worksheet to make it easy for me along the way. So then that way, once I complete a full page of expense tracking, let me see. Once I've completed a full page of expense tracking, I take out my running total worksheet and add up the numbers. So it's like a mini closeout of this completed page. Now, question of the day. Do you are you okay with your budget not balancing, even if it's only a few cents off or even a few dollars? Let me know in the chat if you're watching or if you're watching on replay in the comments section. Now, I say you shouldn't sweat the small stuff. So if your numbers are a few cents off or even a few dollars off, then that's okay, especially if you are just starting out budgeting and closing out budgets. Just do be mindful that your numbers may not add up all the time right away. But there is something in me that just can't leave my budget not balancing at the end. So if this is you as well, what I recommend is you give yourself a time limit. So if you're a couple of cents off or a couple of dollars off, and sometimes maybe even $100, maybe those you might want to try again, but give yourself a time limit to try and work it out. So maybe 10, after 10 minutes, just let it go, because or else you're just going to drive yourself mad. But that is why the running total worksheet at the end of a completed, where are we? After a completed expense tracker makes it a lot easier for you. So let's just quickly have a look. So when I started the new budgeting month, actually, let me just quickly see who are here. Here to cheer you on. Yay, thank you so much. Love what you are doing to encourage clarity and organization this year. Thank you, thank you. I love the fonts and colors you use. They make me happy. Yes, I love all the cute different little fonts, and trying to get that right font on a page when I'm creating them. It's a work of art. You have to try and see if it balances. So I do love either buying fonts or searching for that perfect font for the page. I'm so fortunate that my husband does an amazing job with the financial side of things for home and business. I would feel so lost, but encouraged by your ideas. Yes, I'm also fortunate that my husband does the grocery shop, and so and the meal planning and the cooking. So that's really a great thing to have hubby on my side to do that side of things. Thank you so much. Yes, trying to find that correct font is a work of art. Thank you so much, Motif Music Studios. So let's just get back right into it. So when I started out my budgeting month, let's now look at my January running total. So when I started the new budgeting month, I already wrote down my starting balance. Like I said, if you've just joined me, for cash, because I track that separately, for the starting balance for my side hustle account, and the starting balance for our debit account. So I have $1,122.38. And then let me see if I can zoom in a bit. Let me see if I don't want to. Is that a little bit better? Maybe that's a bit better. Okay. So then each day or every second day at the beginning of the day, I would check our debit accounts and note down any money that came in. So that would be in the plus section, and any money that came out. So it would be in the minus section. So inflow of money could include, as you can see at the beginning of the month, interest earned from the different accounts that we have from the previous month. Also include, sorry, I'm just reading my notes, make sure that I am covering everything, of course, earned income. So from the job that yourself or your partner that comes into the household, also any other payments that come in, or money you used from previous savings that you have to transfer in. Like, for example, if you've saved up for Christmas throughout the year, and of course in November or December, you're going to use up that savings, you would note it down as money coming in, so then that can balance out the money that's going out to buy presents or the Christmas lunch. So any money you use that comes in that's not part of the starting balance, you need to note it down in the plus column. Okay, so I use a green pen. So the pens I use, I did have, oh, here we are. So for January, I'm starting to use the Pilot Friction clicker pens. So these are both in 0.5. I like the clicker pens because then you don't have to worry about putting the lid back on and trying to figure out where's the lid. So the clicker pen, and then at the end of it, it's got this rubber tip. So then if you make any mistakes, so let's say you're writing down your numbers, oops, it's the wrong number. What you do is you use the rubber tip, and the friction or the heat makes the ink disappear. So then you can then write out the correct information. So Pilot Friction clicker in 0.5, and the great thing is these are refillable, so you don't have to buy the barrel each time, and then it's a lot cheaper to just replace the refills. So now for the incoming, I use green. For the outgoing, I use the black ink. Like I said, plus column, in, minus column, the expenses, any debt payment you make, any savings that you put into your savings account, or any sinking funds. Now, I will know the number is correct when the running balance, so the number on the running balance is equal to the total that are in my set debit accounts. So for example, if I did all of this today, and then the running balance is, I don't know if it's focusing, is $1,089.19, I would go add up all the totals on my debit accounts, and if it's the same, then I know I have entered in all the details correctly. If it's not, then I may have written the numbers incorrectly, or I might have listed a line item on my bank account. So that's how I'll know that I've entered everything in on a daily or every second day basis, when the running balance is the same as what is in your debit accounts. Good pens are so satisfying. I definitely have favorites. Yes. And Monica says, yes, I love those pens as well. It's just so convenient when you make a mistake, and then you know, if I don't like to cross out things too much, but sometimes you just have to. Or what I do is, if I'm not using an erasable pen, I actually just grab a tiny piece of paper, cut it up, and then glue it over. So there's a little tip if you're one like me that don't like to have too much error on your page, is just get either a sticker back paper, or just get a normal copy paper, cut it to size and glue it, and ta-da! No one knows you made any mistake. All right, so let's get back into it. So let me know if you do have any questions regarding what I have discussed so far, if you are here, or as I said, if you are on the replay in the comments section. So let's see if I can get the right screen. Okay, so now we are going to add up this information and pop it onto our running total. So let me see if if I can give myself a little bit of space, where can I pop this? Okay. So this is, I put a little page 2 on there, so I know exactly which page that I am going to be adding up. Let's see if that's a little bit better. Okay, so the starting balance, $1,122.38. $1,122.38. Now the inflow is all these green here. So grab your calculator, and then this can include your pay, any savings used. Let's see if I can add up and talk at the same time. Oops, you can't even see it. All right, maybe I won't zoom in too much. Equals. So the inflow that I have noted for this expense tracker is $550.43. So I just pop it on the inflow section of my running total worksheet. And then all you need to do is go down your columns and add up each and every line for each expense category. And this is where your color coding comes in real handy. So then when you're going down the line and your rows, all you got to do is look at all the pinks for grocery or whatever colors you've assigned, or this, I don't know what color that is for the special occasions, and blue for my boys. So let me just go, let's see if I can, I don't know if this will work, so bear with me. Let me see if this will work while I'm adding up. Maybe, let's see if this will work. A little bit of music. So then you're not left idle with just me adding my number. Okay, so for grocery for this page, we spent $321.80. So remember, this could be a week's worth, half a week's worth. So just really important, I just want to cover this first, is that if you are watching someone else's budgeting, that you don't compare the actual numbers. Because I know sometimes when I share figures of my budget, someone will go, oh my God, I don't even earn half of that. Now, first of all, I live here in Sydney, Australia, one of the most expensive places to live. The cost of things is a lot higher. My currency is also in Australian dollars, so it's going to look like it may be a lot. We're actually in the low to mid income threshold because we are a one income family. So just be mindful that when you see someone else's numbers, don't go, well, of course she can save that much because she has that much. No, because if you have less than someone else, you can still save. There's nothing stopping you from saving, even if it's just $1, $5. It's the ability to build that savings muscle. So I know I see lots of budgeting things, where people pop in the comment, well, of course they can save up that much. They're earning so much. But then you also see a lot of millionaires who are in debt. So don't compare the actual number that's in the income or how much they're spending, because someone's situation is going to be different. So just thought I'd pop that there, because that's one of the things that I always think, oh, if I share my numbers, then someone goes, well, I can't save, or I can't spend that much on grocery because you earn more. No, your situation, you got to make the situation work for you. It's like someone saying, well, of course you can get there faster because you're, driving a Ferrari. Well, you can also get to the place by walking or by catching a bus or by going on a bicycle. So see how you can still get to your end destination. It doesn't matter. Well, of course, money helps if you have a little bit more, but just that's just my little bit for today. Okay, all right. So next here, so we've got our rent. So I know there's only one green there. Utilities, so no money came out for utilities on this page. There's nothing for husband, nothing for mine. The boys, $17.50. Family, $60. We had Domino's Pizza last Saturday. No homeschool stuff. Now the next, so it's broken down into two sections. So just make sure you're entering your details on the same row as you are now. So I have to make sure that I put it in row 2. So nothing for school, haven't taken out anything for our cash envelopes system, nothing for transport, nothing for medical. Now special occasion. So just add all these numbers in. So I think this is for my birthday. We thought this year, instead of having a party, we'll just have a nice whole day. And we spent a little bit more for, we missed out on a couple of years there, having a big celebration with the pandemic. Side hustle, so there's none from this page because I keep that on separate. No money went into our sinking funds because that's after the next pay. There's nothing that went into our general savings, nothing in the budget mom, nothing for our side hustle savings, nothing for our home deposit, and there's nothing in miscellaneous. So let me just double check. So grocery, special occasion, boys, family. Oh, see, there you go. Boys, I had only written $17.50, but then there are 2 lines. So $17.50 plus $15. So that should be $32.50. And this is when your friction pen comes in handy, or erasable pen, and just change that number. And I think that is it. And rent. Okay, so that's, don't know if you should have turned my notification. No, not sure if you heard that. Okay, so let me just, okay, so then we had our starting balance. We added in all our plus, and then each expense, savings, or sinking funds categories, I did the subtotal. And now this is when we add everything up. Let me quickly check the chat. Motif Music and I are both part of a growing our YouTube channel. So thank you so much. Great camera angles. I love the way you present this, as I'm typically someone who's stressed by budgets and planning, and feel like your approach is feel good. And I was finding myself getting stressed out at the end of a closing month when I was adding up my budget. And then I just thought, how can I make this simpler and easier? And it's like, well, why don't I just add up, the things once I've completed a page? And then I'm going, well, where do I put this? So hence the running total worksheet. And Monica says, we have a large 3-liter cognac bottle where we put change in. After a while, it adds up. Every penny counts when you save money. That's it, So we have a little, I think it's an old pickle jar. I just cut a little slit very carefully at the top, and then any change that we have, it goes in there. And I think the last time we added up, it was at $356. So it does add up, and then it goes towards whatever your top priority is, whether you are paying off debt or you are saving for something in particular. Every dollar, penny counts. So yes, you are correct. Don't be afraid to save up every little dollar or every little cent. All right, so now let's quickly go back to adding up our numbers. Now, Normally, I would want my numbers to add up the first time. Oops, sorry, let me pop myself back on. Normally, I want my numbers to add up the first time, but for today's demo, I actually don't want it to balance. So then I can show you how you can easily spot where you might have gone wrong. So let's go have a look-see, hey? Okay, so this is the way you will add these up. So we have, we add up, let me see if I can zoom in this time so it's a little bit easier to see. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to pop in our starting balance, trying to avoid that glare. That's better. I'm going to try and do this left-handed. 1122.38. And then you're going to add up the inflow, because this is the money that is in the pool of money that you're going to take away all these different expense categories. So, and then you minus the next category, minus, oh, did I think I can't do this left-handed. Sorry if there's, here we go, there's no glare here. Let me see, plus 550.43, and then you minus each and every one of these categories here. So let me make sure that I'm adding this all or minusing it all properly. And then minus 349.12. Okay, see? Imagine, this is where, imagine you had to do this for multiple pages, and then you get to this point where you had a negative. How did that work? Make sure I'm getting it right. Okay, so I end up with $259.39. Now, I will know this is correct when that figure is the same as the final, change the angle, sorry for the, I will know that that figure is correct when it is the same, is this going to, yep, it is the same as the last number on my running balance column. So it's $259.39, but my running balance says $236.29. So it's actually good for this demonstration that my numbers didn't add up, because then you go, okay, well, where did I go wrong? So the best way to do this is to take this number. So keep that figure that you've just added up all these, and then minus that figure, $236.236.29. So we minused it, and it's saying that there is a difference of $23.10. So let's see if there is a $23.10. There it is. I spotted it, 23 and 10. So I didn't highlight it because I didn't know at the time what that was for. So therefore I couldn't assign it to an expense category. But then I found out later that is actually the dry cleaning or the ironing. So my husband gets the ironing sent out to the dry cleaners. And so I'm going to just pop Edward. So that's the category. And then let me just erase this because that has $23.10 on it. So see how it was quickly, I was easily able to spot where I might have gone wrong, because the figure that I added up the first time on my running total worksheet minus what was actually on my end running balance was $23.10 off. And then straight away I was able to see, oh, where is that 23? So I knew I had missed a line item, pop that back in. So just very briefly, so while I am talking, I just want to make sure I always add it again. So then that way it gives me a peace of mind that I have entered everything in correctly. So I add in my starting balance plus my inflow, and then minus everything else, and make sure that it is the same. So now $236.29 is the same as the last figure on my running balance 236.29. So that means I have written everything down correctly onto here, from here. So then when it comes to closing out my budget at the end of the month, if I do this every time I complete an expense tracker, then I won't have to add up individual line items for multiple pages. All I got to do is add up all these totals. So one final thing to add in here is this number here, which technically is the closing balance for this page. We will enter that in as the new starting balance on your next expense tracker page. So this starting balance, $236.29. So let me just quickly fill this in. January. This page is for our debit accounts. And then that figure I will add in onto the next page. So which is page, that should be 3. I think I missed a page. I knew I missed a page. So there it is, page 3. I just make a little mark on there so then I don't confuse myself when maybe I'm doing my budgeting when I'm tired. So then I would put that number here as the new starting balance for page 3, $236.29. And then when I fill in this page completely next time, I would do exactly the same thing. Add in all the inflow and then add in the subtotals for each subcategory. So it was actually quite good that my numbers didn't add up. So I can quickly show you that even though I've been doing this for a while now, you're going to write, instead of 50 cents, you might have written 50 cents, but then it looks like a 56 cents, or you might have forgotten to enter in a line item, or you might have pressed the number incorrectly on your calculator. So don't be too hard on yourself if the numbers don't add up, but hopefully the running total worksheet allows you to make it a little bit easier for yourself. So let me just quickly check on the chat. Hello, Elle. Never too late. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you, Monica and Elle. Elle, meet Monica. Monica, Elle. Yes. Another growing our YouTube channel alumni. I appreciate you all for being here. Thank you so much. It's really I so appreciate you all being here. The bottle flip. Great idea. Some little savings happening. I also like watching the bottle fill up. Oh, okay. So I do have some new glasses on. So they're anti-glare and blue, whatever it's called. Yes, and I'm glad you made it here too, Elle. Thank you so much for joining me in today's live. So, all right. So let me just make sure I show this again. So running total worksheet. It comes with my expense tracker printable download, as well as the zero-based budget. Now, if you do have any questions that come up or pop up, either if you're watching this for the first time or you rewatch it, just pop it in the comment section. Hello, Val. How are you? Never too late. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you being here. And so, okay, now before, where are we? Sometimes I get so lost in my little techie doodah. Now, before I do share with you how you can grab this free printable download for my running total worksheet, make sure that you do give this video a thumbs up if you've got any value from it, and make sure that you do share it with your budgeting friends. And if you haven't yet subscribed, make sure you do, so then that way, and make sure to also hit that bell to get notified of when I do upload new videos, or when I go on live like I am today on a very early Sunday morning here in Sydney, Australia. um, uh, you're welcome, Val. You're very much welcome. So, all right. So make sure, give it a thumbs up, share if you think someone else might find value in this video, and also, of course, subscribe and hit that bell to get notified of when I upload new videos. So, how do you get this printable download? Well, what you got to do is, let me see if I can go to my website, mariannecrest.com. Does this work? Yes, it works. So mariannecrest.com. And then on the top tab, there is a freebies tab. And then there you will find my running total worksheet. And there's some two other freebies that you can also download. And of course, I would appreciate that you sign up to the newsletter, so you do get notified of any specials or updates that I do have. I'm hoping to be a little bit more active on the website and send out, not all the time, at least maybe once a month, a little update of what's going on, anything new that you might have missed along the way. But yes, so to grab the running total worksheet PDF printable download, pop on over to mariannecrest.com, the freebies tab, and there it is in the running total, and you can download that for free. Okay, there we go. Let me just remove this, and that's me. So now the next thing to do is to watch this video right here, where I show you how to use the zero-based budgeting method as part of our budgeting routine. And that way you'll get to see how I allocate the money that comes in to each and every category that you saw in my running total worksheet. So thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate you, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye.